everyone, I'm Becky.
I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we're talking about Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepard, which I got an eARC through Nick Kelly.
I did too.
And so this book is about Anouk. Anouk, is that Anouk?
I have no idea.
Anouk is a servant to a wealthy witch in France. However, she is not an ordinary girl. Anouk and her friends, Beau, Cricket, and Luke, are beasties, people made of animals using magic. Anouk dreams of having a normal life, but her witch will not allow it. And then I lost the rest of my description. Until one day, Anouk discovers her evil witch has been murdered, and she and her friends have to go on the run to try to find another witch to continue the spell so they get to stay alive. That's basically what it's about.
Yep, that's basically it.
So,
what else has she written? I can't remember.
So I want to say she wrote the one.
Was she the Pretty Little Liars person?
No, that's Sarah Shepard.
Okay.
Daughter of a Madman, I want to say, about, which I liked that. And then she did, is it The Cage? The ones, oh, now I'm going to click on the button. Because the one that was, where they're like basically abducted by aliens, and I think people are kind of like in an alien zoo almost.
I feel like I've read a book like that before.
Yes. But I think it's called A Diary of a Madman. The Madman's Daughter, which I actually liked that. And it's her father, Dr. Moreau, from the island of Dr. Moreau. The Cage was the other ones.
I haven't read any of her books.
So this was interesting. Like, it's an interesting idea, and I don't feel like I've seen this idea before.
It was certainly an interesting concept.
And, like, it's well written. Like, it
was extremely well written.
And I liked the world building. I never really connected with the narrative.
For me, it was the characters. I think that everything worked, and I should have liked this book. It was hard for me to read it because the main character had no kind of connections to the other characters, which made it kind of impossible for me to develop that connection with it.
And I think my problem with it was Anouk they're only supposed to have been human for like, what, 2 years? A year?
Yeah.
And so Anouk comes off very much like a little child, which her narrative is very well done in like a child, but it's also like listening to a 5-year-old tell a story.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, especially because like the love interest, it comes out of nowhere, and there really doesn't seem to be any kind of spark or any connection between the two, and I'm like, what? I kept waiting for her to like kind of fall for a different person, and then that never happened. It was just really strange.
It just kind of just like plodded along.
And like the side characters were quirky, and like they could have been really great, but I think the lens that we saw them through kind of didn't push them to that point. And
I feel like this would be a good tween book, but there's also, I mean, there's a good amount of violence, so I don't know if it would work for your... Because I don't know if an older tween... I mean, I think fans of hers will read this, but I don't know if an older teen would be like, this is a great book. Because those whole fairy tale retellings are so popular, and this feels like a fairy tale. No, I think it's an original story.
I don't know. I'm kind of in and of the thought that perhaps it's because it's an arc. I'm kind of hoping that some of the kinks will be worked out by the time the final copy comes out.
Okay, so should we just rate it?
Yeah, let's rate it.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse. Where are you?
I'm at 3 unicorns. I wish it could have been 4. Like, there's potential for it. It's just the characters I couldn't connect to.
I'm like literally, like, I'm at like a 3.5 to almost a 4, but I kind of want to go with 3 because, like, it is fast. Like, I read this, like, super fast. The storyline is interesting. It's not even like, usually it's the character that's interesting, but the storyline is interesting.
Yeah, everything but the characters was super well done and interesting and compelling, and yeah.
I just, honestly, like, the reason that I'm like at a 3 and not a 4 is I don't remember it, and it's only been a week, and I think that's because Anouk just wasn't a great main character.
Yeah.
So that is where we are on Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepard.
All right, so see you around.
Bye.